It has now been, what, 4 days now, guys? Listen, I'm definitely waiting for more information to come out, but luckily, Pam Bondi apparently is going to be vowing, at least, to release more of Jeffrey Epstein's files. Guys, I'm still waiting on a list. I don't think that it's going to be the full list. I do most likely believe that there will definitely be some names redacted. Okay, that's just kind of my thought process here. But let's see where this takes us, guys. Let's jump into this immediately. This will be a suggestion via Discord, guys. Let's check it out.
Justice Department opening an investigation into the University of California system over anti-Semitism allegations. It's just one of the Trump administration's latest responses to anti-Israel protests that have been erupting across college campuses since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. Justice Department Chief of Staff and Acting Associate Attorney General Chad Mizelle joins me now with more on this investigation. Chad, thanks so much for coming in on a Saturday. Really appreciate it. And right off the top, I just want to let our viewers know, when we talk about the University of California system, we are talking about the most elite public schools in the state of California: UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, UC Santa Barbara. There are 10 of them in all. They are certainly the crown jewel of public education in California. Tell us about this investigation.
All right, let's go, guys.
That's right, Anita. First off, thank you so much for having me. And I have to thank President Trump and his amazing Attorney General, Pam Bondi, my friend, my boss, for the honor of every single day being able to fight on behalf of the American people. And one of the key areas where we're fighting right now is to combat anti-Semitism across our college campuses. As you said, the UC system is one of the largest systems in the country. Over 250,000 faculty and staff, nearly 300,000 students are attending the UC system, elite institutions, Berkeley and UCLA. What they have done there is completely unacceptable. Anita, they stuck their head in the sand. They refused to act whenever acting was required in that circumstance. Put simply, they were being weak, and that weakness is a choice. And now they're going to have to answer for that choice. We are going to come and do an investigation into whether there is a pattern or practice of discrimination against Jewish and Israeli individuals. And if we find that, we're going to take strong action.
Okay.
Well, I know you'll be looking for evidence. And when it comes to UCLA, why don't we just put that video up again? There's plenty of video of Jewish students being barred by these protesters from going to class. One student in particular, his name was Eli Civis, he made tons of videos and they went viral all over the internet of how he could not attend class at UCLA. So when you say you're looking for violations of Title VII, is that a violation of Title VII? What are you looking for exactly?
Yeah, so with respect to Title VII, what we're really focused in on are faculty and staff. And did the university create a hostile work environment, an environment where Jewish professors, Israeli professors, were not welcome? So part of the evidence we're going to be looking at is some of the protests that happened. There's a high-profile one, the dean of the law school over at Berkeley, Chemerinsky. Protesters went to his house. They refused to leave whenever speakers were coming. We have evidence of, on listservs, faculty listservs, people saying outrageous things, pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist statements, essentially creating an environment where Jewish and Israeli faculty members were not welcome. That's the kind of evidence that we need to look for as part of our Title VII investigation.
And just quickly, if you find what you're looking for, what are the ramifications here? Could UCLA see what happened to Columbia, happened to them, and the stripping of funds, or what else?
Absolutely, Anita. This is the beauty of the cabinet that Donald Trump has built. We are all working together. I know that Attorney General Bondi is speaking daily with her counterparts at the State Department, at the Department of Education, at HHS, even at EEOC. Everybody's working together. And so right now what the UC system is facing is a series of private lawsuits on behalf of professors. There are EEOC charges that they're facing. The Department of Justice is launching an investigation. There's potential visa revocation issues from the Department of Homeland Security. And then on top of that, you have billions of dollars in funding from the Department of Education, Department of Health and Human Services, GSA, DOJ. It spans the gamut. And so whenever we're talking about what DOJ is doing here, it's just one small piece of the pie, all under the leadership of President Trump, to attack this problem and to make America safe again.
Okay, so certainly a lot.
All right, so really, I just wanted to make sure I heard every single aspect of what this man was saying. Guys, I am definitely not for the concept of special interest groups by any means. Listen, if we are going to kind of strip the, let's say, the protections, public protections, let's say, of people that walk around in a different, let's say, as if they are a different gender, let's say, then I'm not sure that there should be any type of special interest groups. I'm not sure you could be against that, but then for this, there's definitely a contradiction. Kind of whenever I hear these things, it kind of makes me feel as if, what does Netanyahu have over the United States of America, guys? What is this? It just doesn't feel correct. Like, I understand, I'm not for the concept of anyone being hated for who they are, who they choose to be, who they were born as, et cetera, et cetera. But if we are not going to have special interest groups for certain things, we shouldn't have special interest groups for other things. That's just my overall opinion here. And if they're being barred from being allowed to be entering their classrooms, let's say, then they should, in fact, 100% call the police. Right? Unless the school itself is complicit, which I'm not sure that could be a thing, right? Specifically for federal funding, at least, right? But if they do find out that that's the case, then I do think that they should definitely go head first into finding out exactly why people of certain ilks, let's say, are not being allowed to go to school. That should be a thing. Title VII definitely sounds like it's being violated if that's the case, right? But let's see where this takes us, guys.
On the table for these UC schools, we're going to be following this story for sure.
That's right.
I do want to switch gears quickly, though, and ask you about the Supreme Court decision this week. The Supreme Court backed an order forcing the administration to pay $2 billion in frozen foreign aid money. What is the Justice Department's reaction to that? It's a surprising ruling to some.
Anita, yeah, it was surprising. Listen, we're certainly disappointed. I would encourage everybody to go out and read Justice Alito's dissent. In that case, I've never seen such a strong dissent. I've never seen such a vicious takedown of a district court judge. And that's exactly what was appropriate here. We have an activist judge in DDC who is working against the administration and forcing us to put out potentially billions of dollars that are not going to be recoverable because these organizations are going to take them and run. That's exactly what Elon Musk and President Trump have uncovered. And that's the exact type of fraud, waste, and abuse that we're going to work and fight to prevent again. So
that's a good
you haven't heard the end of the story. We're not done here. We're going to keep fighting.
Yeah, guys. I'm not also very sure that we should be sending money to other countries, specifically if we're getting nothing in return. I feel the same way about basically everywhere. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry, guys. If we are paying taxes in the United States of America and we have actually created such a surplus that we can waste money in other countries, then any countries, I don't care the country, guys. Right? If we can waste money in other countries, then obviously we're paying too much money in taxes. We need to go ahead and work on that, guys, because I mean the dollar is already taxed to the point where it's not even worth the dollar that it's printed on, guys. The $100 is taxed so much that it's not even worth the $100, guys. Okay, so we have an issue here. If we are taxed to the point where we have enough money to waste in other nations, then specifically, and we're not getting anything in return, pack it up, guys. I'm good. I'm extremely fiscally conservative, guys. Extremely.
Okay. All right. Well, we're definitely watching that story as well. And one more before
socially
I let you
a little
go.
bit different.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says the FBI has turned over more evidence in the Jeffrey Epstein case, and she says she plans to release more of those files soon. So what can we expect to see?
That's right. The FBI did meet the deadline there. I think what you're going to see is a lot of what you've seen before, in the sense of you're going to see transparency. This is an administration. Attorney General Bondi is committed to transparency. We haven't gone through all the documents yet, so we don't exactly know what we're going to find. But whatever we find, once we've redacted the victims' names, that is something that the Attorney General said on this network that she is going to turn over.
Yeah, we all heard that, so we are waiting to see that.
Okay. So basically, the title was slightly misleading, I can definitely tell you, because I was definitely going into the video specifically to find out more about the topic, right? But okay, not a terrible video here, guys. But so the first half of the video, referring to anti-Semitism, again, I just want to kind of reiterate my point here. I'm not a super fan of special interest groups, guys. I'm just not a super fan of them. Not like that, at least. We should be treated equal. Everyone should have the moderately equal advantaged, let's say. But if you are being stopped from going into school and your school is not, let's say, specifically doing it to you because of who you are, firstly, how did you get like admitted into the school if they're like that, right? He also mentioned they may have an issue with like hiring teachers or something that are Jewish. Guys, listen, if you are having that much of an issue, call the police. I think that would make all the sense in the world, because I would literally say the same thing to all the other groups that are that need some special interest, at least, guys. All right, but we should not be putting other people's needs over any other people's needs. You know what I mean here, guys? But it just seems like consistently. The left, for the most part, speaks almost exclusively about like homosexuals, for example, while the right speaks exclusively about Israel. So it's like the most interesting thing, right? Like, what's going on here, right? I mean, maybe I've been outside of the United States of America for entirely too long in my life to kind of understand whatever propaganda is being we're being levied, basically, right? I don't know, guys. All right, what is it? Is there something I'm missing here? Like, I mean, I don't want anyone treated terribly, period. I don't care who they are. Don't treat people terribly. Treat people, listen, my mother used to always say the same thing to me. Treat people how you want to be treated, okay? The people that are sitting here protesting on schools, I don't know, First Amendment, I guess, right? But don't stop people's movement. I think once you stop people's movement, I don't care what you're saying, just don't stop people's movement. That's it, really, I guess that's my point here. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be always fair with my statements here, and I think what it just comes down to is just don't stop people's movement. You can protest. I want people to protest. Seriously, just don't stop my movement. That's it. That's it. Once you stop my movement, all bets are off, bro. Okay. And if they are stopping people's movement, I think we saw they're saying that, but I didn't see any videos of it. And the video that I did see. It was someone who was most likely Jewish trying to rip the flag away from another person. That's what it looked like, okay? Other than I didn't see any stopping of movement because no one was physically stopping anyone's movement. But again, if that's the case, then that's a problem, okay? We literally have amendments set up for that specific thing. So I'm not sure what to do with this scenario here, guys, right? But either way, matter of fact, I think you guys sent me something like this before, and someone in the comments was like, well, what if they were black? And it doesn't change my statement, right? I just want you guys to know when I say this, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't care, basically. Like it does. If you are wrong, you are wrong. I don't care what color you are, bro. I don't care what religion you are. If you're wrong, bro. Right? But if the school is in fact like choosing to specifically treat people that are Jewish terribly, then it's definitely something that should be looked at in terms of funding to that specific school, and that information should definitely be publicized. Okay, you don't treat people terribly for who they are, who or what they are, regardless, left or the right. I don't care, bro. Don't treat people bad. But all right, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day.